What is Advent? Well, it's not something from the Bible, but it grew as part of the church calendar over the centuries, a calendar that some churches follow closely and others hardly at all. In the early days, Advent involved a frightening amount of fasting. These days, it's become either a period of frantic shopping or an opportunity to think about the meaning of Christmas before Christmas arrives, to get some time to reflect on what really matters. Well, chance would be a fine thing, you would likely say, with the way things are. And it's true. Modern life is easier in some ways than the world we see in the Gospel of Luke. But one thing we have much worse is all the rushing about, trying to fit too much into too little, and then getting our heads all jangled up about it all with the pressure. And Christmas? Well, that's even worse. The schedule is punishing. I mean, really, who's got time to think at Christmas? Well, that's the point of Advent. Let me ask you a hard question. All this rushing about and cramming things in, has it made Christmas more enjoyable? If not, why not make a change? This surely is the year to try. Why not ask yourself, what could I cut out that wouldn't really subtract from the good things about Christmas? And is there anything I could put into the space that's left that would make it a little bit more enjoyable, like the Christmas I would really like to experience? And why not use this season for the purpose that it came into being, to reflect on what Christmas truly is? Because that would have two effects. It would both slow down the rush and turn up the brightness on the real meaning of Christmas. Now, in these daily videos, we want to help you to do that. And the best way is to turn our attention to the first Christmas and meet the people who were there, listen to them and watch them. At the very beginning of Luke's Gospel, we read in the first 4 sentences that Luke, who was a doctor, had researched all the information about the life of Jesus. He'd spoken to eyewitnesses, he'd read their accounts, and he put everything together and wrote this biography. And he says in the 3rd verse of chapter 1, and 3rd verse means the sentence with a tiny 3 just above the beginning of it, "Since I myself have carefully investigated everything from the beginning, I too decided to write an orderly account for you." So he wrote this to describe what happened and to explain why it was so important. So it's here in the Bible that we find the true meaning of Christmas. Of course, at Christmas we think of love and laughter, joy and peace, warmth and brightness, and that's all really good. Imagine those things are a Christmas tree. All of those things I've described, that's the foliage. But what produces the foliage? What gives this celebration its life and strength? The trunk and the roots. And Luke says the trunk and the roots, that's a tiny baby born in a stable. And we can find out why that's the case by reading this gospel. And the good news is it doesn't require any rushing about or shopping or money. It just needs a little bit of time. And I hope you'll make a little bit of time to join us tomorrow as we really begin to explore what Christmas is.
There are 23 sleeps till Christmas.